So after the last year we've had, I know a lot of people want to save money this year. I'm going to help you do just that. I have a free template built in Notion and Microsoft Excel to help you budget and save money for the year ahead and beyond. So what do you need? All you need is either Microsoft Excel or Notion. With those two apps, those are the two apps that are going to help you budget. And as well as that, and what I would recommend is you use a mobile app, which is your main account, which has all your bills and itemizes and categorizes them. This is what we're going to use to match our Notion and Excel templates. That way you can take the expenses from that month. So for example, if entertainment, groceries, they will all have a category in the mobile app, and you will match that to the Excel and Notion template I've prepared for you guys. So with all that being said, let's jump into the templates and I will show you how we're going to use it. This is the budgeting template. So I've kept it very simple. The idea is very simple. So what you're going to do is have the budget in the first row. So this is what you plan to spend, or you plan to earn. So in this case, earn. So you plan to have your salary $3,000. You plan for your side hustle to bring in $300. Your rent would be planning here. So this is basically what your budget is set at, right? So usually these kind of the needs section, apart from really transport and these days energy bills, they're kind of set in stone. So things like rent, insurance, broadband, those are not prices that fluctuate too much. So you're gonna need to, these are the things you need to pay every single month. So you're gonna put everything in terms of what it will cost you normally every month. You're gonna put it all in here. How much you plan to save, right? So this might not be actually how much you end up saving, and I'll show you that in the next step, but how much you plan to save at least, right? And it's all separated into these 4 different categories, which is income, needs, investments, and wants. So for income, that you might want to add another column if you want. So if you wanted to add another column, you could just add one here and say income. So maybe you might have even more jobs, right? Maybe you might have a part-time job, another part-time job. So the whole point of this is to be very simple, very flexible. Then you go to needs. As I said before, this is stuff that doesn't fluctuate too much, but it's the stuff we have to pay. You know, all these things like rent. Maybe you can change this for mortgage if you have a mortgage. And yeah, these are things you have to pay. Then we move down to investments. So I've just put here as a little bit of a template. You know, you can obviously change just to what you want it to be. But essentially, if you look here, you can see this 80-10-10 strategy, right? So it's basically 80% on like ETFs or like these kind of, you know, S&P 500 type of stocks, 10% speculative, maybe crypto or something else, and then 10% saving every single month. That's kind of how I've seen it. So there is one thing with this budget that I didn't mention that I should, which is just simply that for budgeting purposes, you just need to add a minus. Sorry, not to the income. So anything that isn't income, you just add a minus, right? So the reason why we do that is because you're gonna have a total at the bottom here. So there's a running total here. You just add a minus, and then you're gonna see how much you're left with at the end of the month, right? And then the final section is wants. So in this section, this is what you want to get your mobile app to do, right? Because these aren't fixed costs and they can fluctuate a lot. So you might spend a lot of money on entertainment or shopping in 1 month. So this is what you want to map to your mobile app. So you want to go into your mobile banking app, whatever that may be, and obviously most of them will have some sort of categorizing. They do. So some is like entertainment, groceries, that kind of thing. And what you're going to want to do is you want to use one card for most of your expenses, right? This will really help you track how much money is going in and out. I know people want to use different cards and stuff like that, but the more you do that, the more money you're going to kind of spend without realizing. So if you have one card and then you figure out how much the budget of the wants is. So you can have, for example, I have my rent comes out of a different account to the one most of my day-to-day spending comes out of. So you can have your rent and those small fixed costs come out of one account, and then the other account with your day-to-day spending, you have that on one card. So then you can itemize all those bills, and then you can add any ones that are not here, like any ones that you're banking at pads that are not here, you can just add here. So maybe your banking has something for, let's say, I know I have transport already, but let's add transport. So maybe there's that, or actually maybe just Uber. So maybe you can, maybe you take only Ubers, and your bank app can tell you exactly how much you spent on Ubers for that month. So you're gonna wanna, like I said, have that one card, that one account, and then every month you're gonna go in and fill in. So these are the months, right? Now, before you go into doing that, just have a budget for what you think you'll spend. So, for example, entertainment, have a budget for what you think that will be. Groceries, have a budget for what you think that will be. So then you can, every month when you go through, and I've done it again, I forgot to add the minus. So you get the sum at the end of how much you have left based on the income and all the different things, expenses you have. So for January, so for example, I'll give you an example month. So if you were to, once you have your budget sorted out, you'll go into January. So in income, probably your salary hasn't changed in the last month, right? And whatever side hustle you have, that actually might fluctuate. You never know. You might work more, might work less. So let's say it's gone up a little bit. Your rent, again, fixed costs, you can almost copy them, to be honest. So let's say minus 1,000. So I'm going to skip all the rest of the needs. Let's, pretend just for illustration's sake. And then let's say, yay, this month you did manage to save. You did manage to invest a little bit more money as well. Well, sorry, a little bit less than you thought, but you did invest. But then you went kind of really crazy with the entertainment. So you spent £300, $300 on entertainment. And it says pounds here, but you can just change the currency to dollars, and then it'll do for the whole thing. And then groceries, we spent $300 because groceries are getting really expensive. And then you've made a few cash withdrawals. So that's the kind of stuff that doesn't get tracked. So make sure you track that. So if you've withdrawn a bit of cash, keep track of how much you've withdrawn. And then you spent, let's say, 140 on Ubers this month. So now you can kind of see how this works. It's very simple. Like, I know people have like more complicated stuff, but me personally, I like simple. And this just gives you a very brief visual way of seeing where your money is going every single month. So you see how much money you've earned this month, and then you can just see the different places where the money is going. And then you have a sum at the end. So this month you have 1,100 extra. Obviously, probably that's not going to be. Most people are thinking, once you actually invest more, save more, and obviously add the other expenses, there probably isn't much left. But another thing I've added to this template is these different views. So you can just focus on income. You can just see how much your needs are costing you. You can see that just like that. You see how much your wants are costing you, and then you can see how much you've actually invested for every single month. So that's basically it. It's super simple. I have a version in Excel as well. That follows the exact same template, to be honest. So this is the Microsoft Excel version. As you can see, it's basically the same as the one we have for Notion. If I just slide this over here, you guys can see I'm not the best on Excel, but I get it done. So yeah, it's very similar. Needs, investments, wants, And the same thing happens here. You enter your salary, and then you just enter, let's say, entertainment here, and you can see that it will update below, and it tells you what's left for the budget. So it's exactly the same thing. Very, very, very simple. You can visually see where everything's going money-wise, and what doesn't get measured doesn't get managed. So you just need to keep an eye on where the money is, where the money's going, and that will hopefully help you budget for 2023 and beyond. So budgeting alone and having this template is going to help you, but that alone is not going to be what's going to help you reach your financial goals. It's really important that you think about the discipline and the sacrificing that you'll have to make, because of course, saving money, budgeting, in theory is easy. You can see how much you save every month. But the practical side of it means that you will have to sacrifice some things here and there, and you'll have to have that discipline to budget every month consistently to actually see the results. But I think even if you don't change your behavior, I think tracking what you spend and how you budget month to month and having that visual and actually seeing it is going to help everybody to at least understand where your money is going. And if you don't save money this year, at least you'll know for next year or the months to come where your money is going and where you can actually potentially save money and then keep more of your money. And in terms of your financial goals, I think it's important to remember that ultimately, if you don't sacrifice for your goals will become the sacrifice. So think about what you really want, why you're really budgeting, because the why behind your budget is very important. And just be prepared to sacrifice a little bit to get to your ultimate financial goal. So I hope you found this video useful, and hopefully you find the template useful. Like I said, it's completely free. If you want to drop me a couple coins, you can, but it's completely free. You can use as much as you want, duplicate it year to year, whatever you want to do. It's completely free. So thanks for watching, enjoy, and save that money.